Ladies and gentlemen, hey, it's me, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube, and we're going to do something a little bit different here on Monday nights now, I think. Well, not necessarily Monday nights, but any given night of the week that it's actually going to work out. We're going to do something called the Showcase Card of the Week. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to randomly choose a card by rolling dice. And then we're going to talk about that card and just bring it up and see what we can see how well it works, see the cost of it, see if it's any good, this, that, and the other thing. So the way we're going to do this here is we know that there are 5 colored shards and 1 neutral. So in order to be able to pick the shard, what we're going to do is we're going to roll a 6-sided die, and then once we get that figured out, we're going to determine how many rows of cards there actually are. And if there's 4 rows of cards in that given color, we'll roll a 4-sided die. If there's 5 colors or 5 rows, then we'll roll a 6-sided die, and we'll just throw out the number 6. If that comes up, we'll just roll again. And then what we'll do is we'll roll a 20-sided die to determine what card we want out of that actual row. The rows on my screen here consist of 13 different cards. So anything 1 through 13 will be valid. Anything above 13, we'll just do a re-roll on the D20 here. So first of all, let's go and get started. Let's figure out what color we're actually going to be talking about here tonight. We'll go ahead and turn on the roll camera here, and we'll roll our 6-sided die and see what color comes up. Oh, and by the way, the colors, almost forgot. Where are we at here? Oh, I forgot where my notes were. That's awesome. Somewhere. Ah, here we are. Okay. So, 1 is sapphire, 2 is blood, 3 is diamond, 4 is wild, 5 is ruby, and 6 will be the artifact cards. So let's go ahead and roll for our shard color. Whoa. Way out there, and we roll a 1, so we're going to be pulling a sapphire card. So we'll go ahead and get rid of everything except sapphire, and then we'll also go ahead and eliminate the resource card. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, 4 rows of cards. So then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and roll this dice right here. It's a pyramid style die, and has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 on it. So we'll roll that to see what row we're actually going to pull the card out of. And it comes up a 4. I know it's kind of hard to see. The dice is a little small. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you. Yeah, that was really kind of hard to see there, but so that's 4, so we're going to pull out a row 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the very last row. Now we'll roll our D20, and we'll see what card we're going to actually talk about. And like I said, anything over 14 we'll just discard, or anything over 13 we'll discard and roll again. And we roll an 11, so we'll go, there's 13, 12, 11. The card we're going to be talking about this week, the showcase card of the week, is going to be Peak. It's a fairly new card that came out in the last patch, I believe, and it's a 2 resource cost, 1 sapphire threshold, quick action, and you look, and the text on the card here is: look at cards from the top of your deck equal to the amount of sapphire threshold you have. Put one of them into your hand, then shuffle the remaining cards into your deck. I think this is a very good card. Not that sapphire needed any more card draw or anything like that, but for its cost and its threshold, I think it could be splashed into decks that are just playing multicolored deck, and to be able to get some card draw. You don't need an insane amount of sapphire threshold, I don't think, to be able to utilize this card. If you have 3 or 4 sapphire threshold and you're playing a 2 or 3 color deck, this will come in very handy. So those are my thoughts on this card here. And given that it's only 2 resources, it's I wouldn't foresee anybody not playing at least 2 of or 3 of. I don't know about 4 of, but that's just me playing 4 of one card. It's I I used to create my decks all that way, as play 4 of every card, and then it never really worked out that well. So I started doing 2 ofs and 3 ofs, and it seems to work a little bit better here. So yeah, to look at the top 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in my deck, if I'm in a multicolor deck here, I think this card is definitely well worth it. And the art on the card, I really like the art. I'm not quite sure what this little green thing is right next to the guy's face. I'm not sure if that's part of the actual chest that he's looking into, or if it's something else beside him. I'm not really sure there. And the whole sparkling wave that's coming up out of the chest, I mean, what's that all about? I'm not really sure what the card art has to do with that, other than you see the guy peeking into a box or some type of chest and things like that. The whole magical wave of light there coming out. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure what their idea behind that was, for sure there, but the card art's very cool. I like it. And like I said, it's a decent card for its cost and threshold. I'm willing to bet that this card here will have some changes prior to the game going to open beta. I could see the card's threshold being increased, or the resources being increased. If the threshold doesn't increase, I'm gonna bet the resource would be increased. 3 would be minimum. 4 would probably be where I would see this card at, and I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but you gotta remember though, if you're just using it in a mono sapphire deck and you have 18 sapphire threshold, you're gonna be looking at the top 18 cards of that deck. So I think this may become a metagame card for Sapphire, a mono Sapphire deck, maybe even a dual color deck when you run Sapphire. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on the card. Oh, and by the way, it is a common. If nobody knows exactly what the colors on the bottoms of the card here actually stand for, you have, what is it? White is common. Green's uncommon, blue is rare, red is legendary, and I think there's another one. I think, is it gray? There's an epic in there too somewhere. I'm not sure if that's before or after legendary, but that's what these colors on the bottom of the card mean. Is it classifies what the rarity of it is, and then the 1 indicates what card set that it came out of there. So if you weren't sure how to actually decipher what that all meant, that's what it means. This is a common and it came out of set 1. Now these numbers down here, I think those mean that this is card number 263 of 1501 of set 1. I believe that's how you read those. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Sapphire Quick Action Peek. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Go ahead and leave some comments below. Like the video if you think it's kick-ass. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and click subscribe, and we'll have another video for you soon.